Hello everyone, I'm Niharika John. Welcome to this session where we starting with our part of this course. Today I'm going. But before we go ahead, for those who don't know me, I am Faculty of English and I have been. We are starting with some theory so that when we come across questions and descriptive, we are thorough with our foundation. On good foundation, if you try to build something, of course it is gonna be strong, and that's what we are going to follow. Yes, this is a theory lesson, but we are going to do some exercises. There is going to be a homework that you have to do on daily basis. What is it? Understand. Okay, first let's do that. This is the class where you first get the homework and then you're go ahead with the chapter. So understand this, okay? Today, what I'm gonna take is noun. Um, I was supposed to take this live session on YouTube, but because of some technical issue, I wasn't able to go through the complete session, and I think you will be getting the recording of this session soon. If you have already enrolled in a batch, a paid course, you will be getting the PDF of it. So do not worry about jotting down points or notes. PDF should be enough for you to give it a quick revision whenever you. My suggestion would be revise everything that is related to grammar and grammar rules through questions. Okay, having notes and all, it's okay. But when I will be taking your tests and giving you questions and all, so I will make sure that I make you revise a particular rule which we have used in the question. So that is the way you should be revising. But yeah, just in case, you'll have PDF notes. Anyways, so every day that we do a topic, your homework is going to taking out 5 minutes to observe. Okay, so you are supposed to observe whatever we have learned, observe the rules. Okay, you have to observe the rules which we have learned in that particular chapter. This you can pick up any good article, random article. It could be the editorial, it could be a particular piece of news or anything. Pick it up. And today, let's say when we are learning everything about noun, try to spot all those rules which you are able to spot and revise that way. Because in a sentence, when you see a noun being used, you will be able to understand the usage of it, the way it is acting, and the way it is used in a sentence, in what context it is used, with the combination of other parts of speech. So, this is what we want to do. You observe the rules by spotting all the nouns and how they are working with other words, how they are working in a sentence. Now, next day, when we do pronouns, when we do verbs, when we do conjunctions, whatever the topic is, whatever rules we do, you have to try to find them in any article, and you have to do this for 5 minutes. And that's the way you are supposed to revise the rules. Okay? I have made it clear, I hope so. कि आपका homework क्या होगा. We are going to have live classes, so I want to encourage you guys to attend live classes because if there is anything that is not clear, you can stop me in between and ask your query, ask it. I would love to clear it then and there. I wish that you don't keep those doubts for later on because then they just pile up. You know? So you're going to do this, okay? Let's start with basic understanding of, okay? So to understand what nouns are, you simply have to question what, okay? Of course, you know the definition that a name given to a person, a place, a thing, or idea, any name which you get is a noun. So, whenever you're confused, sometimes you may not be familiar with whatever name is used in a sentence. In that case, just ask question of what. The answer to what is noun. For example, uh, I am a teacher. I am a what? I am a what? Answer is teacher. There you go. That's the noun. Okay, another example. Um, gift is for you. What is for you? Ask what is for you? Gift. This is something else. We will do it later, but gift is the main. So that is how you check it. Okay, and you can find noun at any place in your sentence. So a basic structure of a sentence is we have a subject, then there is a verb, and then we have object. This is a very simple basic structure. We build on this structure, we get other types of sentences, but your noun can be the part of subject or object. Okay, we are going to do rules which are related to what questions could be asked in exam. I'm not gonna teach you the way we used to do in school, but yes, this is important for your understanding. Okay, so this was the definition and identification of nouns. Let me tell you a little bit more here. Okay, so all those words having suffix shun are nouns. Okay, so if you are getting the word like education, it's a noun. Okay, then itty. Okay, scarcity of something. Ness, kindness, gentleness. Dumb, freedom, kingdom. These are the words, these are the suffixes that you get. Most of them are these, so you do have a few more, but it can be SION also in shun case. So those are the words which will help you to identify, okay, this word is a noun. Once you know it's a noun, you now have some ideas in your mind, some rules that will help you understand if it is right or wrong. So we have some types of nouns, proper nouns. These are the names, and always you have to capitalize them. Okay, this is very important for you to know. जब आप descriptive कर रहे हो, first in descriptive, if you are writing specific name, a name that is given to someone specifically, like name of a person, a day, a city, like New York, Sarah, Friday, you have to capitalize the first letter. So in your descriptive, when you're typing, you should be well aware where you want to capitalize and where not. Then come common nouns. These are interesting ones because these are the general names and no capitalization is required unless they are the first word of the sentence. So these common nouns are names that can stand for anyone. Like when I say the word teacher, जब मैं teacher बोलती हूँ, it can mean any teacher. We have so many faculties here. Crack grade B. So if I say, hey, go call your teacher, you'll ask me, I'm name which teacher, right? So teacher is a common noun. Whereas if you want to understand proper noun against it, it's Marika John Mehra. That's my name. Here teacher can stand for anyone who is teaching, right? So common nouns are the ones where you get countable and uncountable. We'll come to that in a while. Then you have concrete nouns. These are physical objects that can be observed or measured. Okay. So even in concrete nouns, you can find animals involved here, included over here. You have apple, dog, building. These are things, and apart from things, animals and mammals, and also these are the concrete nouns. Again, all the names are to be considered. Then you have abstract nouns, and these are the things which you cannot see, and those names, okay, those names that you feel, you experience, those ideas, those qualities. Of course, you cannot touch; they are not tangible. So these are abstract nouns, and mostly you get, mostly not always, you don't get plurals here. Okay, no plurals for abstract nouns. Anything which is abstract, like love. I cannot have 10 loves in me, right? Happiness. Happiness is a word kabhi nahi socha. Bravery. So these are the things, that the qualities in a person. Okay, these are the attributes of a person. So in this case, you need to know that plurals hardly exist. There are some exceptions which we will learn later, but as of now, please know how this works. Okay, I hope I have made this clear to you. Let's move on. Have countable nouns. This is something where people get confused a lot. Okay, I'm going to show you this, the definition, and I will explain you why I'm saying sorry, collective nouns before we go to countable nouns, and then I'll show you why it is confusing. So collective nouns are the name for a group or a collection of people, animals, or things. For anything, is the name to the collection. In that case, we use that name and it as a collective noun. So there is always a debate now. Understand? I'll show you. Okay. Now have player and I have 12 players. The word player and players here it is common. Okay? But when I'm talking about 12 players collectively as a group, I want to name them. I will say a team is a team. This is the collective now. Now, many people think since it is collective, since it is name given to the group, it automatically acts as plural. It is not so. Team is singular because there is no S here. I may talk about teams from various places and it has a plural, a very legit plural, the word teams. Okay, तो कलेक्टिव नाउन्स इसमें भी आपको सिंगुलर प्लूरल मिलता है. ओके, I can say why it is important to know where to use singular, where to use plural, because we get questions based on this. What happens? Students unnecessarily they change a singular into plural and plural into singular. There's no need to do that. Okay, in error detection, in sentence correction, but they still do it because they feel like it. I am gonna say a team is playing something. I can say the team are doing something. Okay. Now here is the twist. Okay. Collective nouns पे ऊपर आते हैं. When I say a team, I'm making sure it is a team as a whole. So a team has done its best. I'm treating it singular, okay, as a whole. This is case number one. Case number two is if I say the team are divided because of something in something. So the team, the word itself here is singular, but it is a collective noun. And now what I'm saying ahead, जो मैं आगे बोल रही हूँ, based on that, the context here is we are talking about individual players of this team. So there is a chance that I can use a plural agreeing verb here. Treat this team word as plural, consider it plural, and accordingly I will use my pronouns and verbs. So you have to be very careful whenever you deal with a collective noun. Let's say you see a sentence and you know, oh, this is a collective noun. Take a second there and think how you have to use it. Okay, in which way, especially if your collective noun in the question is subject of the sentence. Think twice. Is that word treating is being treated as a whole, or is the word being treated as the individuals in it, or as the parts that are forming that particular collective noun. Yes, apart from this, the third way is I already have the word teams. I don't have to worry, it is plural. So that's why I will use are, I can use have, or whatever I want. I hope this is clear. I'll give you another example. Now, when I talk about more than one judge, so I have the word jury. Okay, let's say it is a panel of four judges, five judges. So, collective noun for this collection, what I'm gonna name it, jury. But I can have multiple sets of collections, no? So, I can have juries as well. One is for High Court, one is for Supreme Court, let's say. So, when I say juries, that is also correct. But when I say jury, it can go two ways. Depending on the meaning of the sentence, I will have to choose whether I want to keep it singular or I want to keep it plural. Okay, and this is a decision to be made based on what you have understood from a sentence. So that's why collective nouns are a bit tricky. Practice more, understand more, and you will be good to go. Then we have countable and uncountable nouns. Okay? So when I say countable nouns, simple hai, count them, and they have, since you can count them, they have singular and plural forms, right? So you have s, yes, or ies that you can add, books, then it into men, women becomes women, like so. So we change as we change the form. Carefully read if the form is correct or not as per required in the sentence. You have uncountable nouns which don't have a plural form. The water that we drink, that we use to do daily chores, that water is uncountable. Sugar that used in a kitchen, milk, information, these are uncountable. Here again, you have a debate. Sometimes you get to see words, I'll tell you. Certain words, this will now come, this you will learn, it will come to you through reading. So if you are not reading enough, you're going to miss out on these. Water is always singular. I can have one bottle of water, I can have 5 liters of water, but it is going to be water. But there exists a word, waters. It is absolutely correct word. It is not plural. It is not plural of the word water. Okay? It is not the plural. Waters itself means large water bodies. Okay? That means I'm going to talk about river, ocean. For that we use this word waters. So you can have a sentence, for example, waters here are very cold, very cool, whatever you want. So in that case, you're talking about the water bodies. The meaning is it's not the plural, it is a separate word, it is entirely different word. That's what you should know. Another example, third example. Iron. Okay. Now iron is metal iron I'm talking about, okay? Fe, science students. But when I say ions, I'm not talking about multiple things. I'm talking about chains. He was in irons, was in chain. Okay. So that's the difference. It is not the plural, but it has its own meaning. Another example. This is now a famous a question-based example. If you get to see, uh, Delhi. Okay, this is wrong. It's never quarter. Quarter means one fourth. Okay, so the correct word is quarters, headquarters. It is always followed with S if you're talking about the main head office or a place to live, a place from where something is done. That is always quarters. Okay, because quarter alone, if you are talking about just quarter, it will mean one fourth of something, 25%. So these are some confusing words which you often get to see in your exam, and there that's the place. There is the spot where you are gonna be judged. So please make sure you read a lot, and when you come across such words, you will know in your mind. You will know that okay, this is the way this word works. There are so many times. Now let's take a break and understand. What happens is you come across so many ads, right? You don't put any effort in memorizing ads. You come across some songs, some dialogues, um, something somebody keeps come across certain things. You hear so many, see so many, eat so many. But there are certain things which your subconscious mind it absorbs zone. You just have to expose yourself to that particular thing, and you will see that automatically that thing starts going in your brain, and you remember that. I have a small baby, a 1.5 year old, and her rhymes. I never put an effort. I have never put an effort to memorize those rhymes, but in my brain, I know the lyrics. I know those rhymes, those songs word by word because I heard it repeatedly. I came across those rhymes often. So that's the way human brain works. That's why we read a lot because whatever we learn in grammar and the vocabulary part are going to get benefited, are going to retain a lot more imagine. Okay, and with the help of now, this is the help you are getting in the sense of lectures and theory part. So all together will improve. I hope you understand now. Let's see more things. So you have singular and plurals, and as I told you, sometimes you have to use s, sometimes you have ies, sometimes you have to change the whole word. Famous word child singular, children is the plural, foot is singular, feet is plural, tooth singular, teeth is plural. So in such words, be very careful because if you are in rush, if you don't pay attention, you may make an error. Okay, there is no such word as child's. Okay, then there are certain words. This is super important. I'll add some more words here. Certain words they have same spelling. They remain same whether you are using them as singular or plural. Sheep. There is no such word as sheeps. Okay. Series, species. Um, Deer is deer. Okay. There are some words I'll write down. There are more words, but then these are the words we often see in exams. Cattle, police. Okay, sheep series. If you're watching one series, it is series. If you're watching 10 series, it is still series with S. Species. So the scientists found a species, a new species, and the scientists found 10 new species. दोनों में ही spelling ऐसा है. And when some words are used like these, okay, they are always plural. So police are, kettle are. That's the way you're going to use them. Next one, super important. Possessive noun. Possession is not something just keep talking about. Okay. So first you should know where do we use it. So when something belongs, when we talk about family or relation, talking about body parts, that case also we possessive noun. Always and anywhere that you like, you can use apostrophe s or apostrophe. That I'll tell you where to use, how to use. But these are the cases when we need a noun which is possessive in nature. Okay? So, first way to do this, or the first way to make a noun into a possessive noun, is to add apostrophe in s. Okay? The girl's book, the boy's arm had tattoos. So यहाँ पे boys apostrophe girls. Now add only apostrophe and no s if you are using a plural noun, because most of the plural nouns, such plural nouns, if they are already ending in s or es, ultimately there is s at the end. You need only apostrophe. Okay, so teachers lounge. It's for all the teachers. It belongs to all the teachers, not a single teacher. That's why here apostrophe should be placed correctly. You get questions based on this small thing called apostrophe. Also, when you are doing essay writing, you are doing pressy writing and all, you should know where to use, how to use. There is something called irregular plural pronouns where you get a plural which is not ending in s. A plural that is children, women. They're not the plurals ending in s. So in this case, apostrophe and s both we need. Children's play arena, okay? Women's wear, right? So when we these plurals which are irregular and a few of them are there. In that case, apostrophe and s both you are going to use. In case of singular, apostrophe and s both you are going to use. And in the case where you are talking about something being possessed by something that belongs to more than one, then plural is present with s, you only use apostrophe. Okay, so just check on this whenever you come across a possessive noun, get the sense that I'm talking about belonging. Now this part I'm not gonna take because this is just for the sake of the understanding how the nouns are used, but have a look at it later on in the PDF, because you are gonna find noun acting at many places in a sentence. So I don't want to confuse you. Just that you can get noun anywhere, as I told you, in subject, object, wherever you feel like. Now there is something called as gender. So this is only important, only relevant when you have to deal with pronouns also in a sentence. Mostly it is of that use. Nobody is going to ask you in exam, okay, if tell the feminine gender of for the word king. That is not the question we get in exam. Okay. So what we need to know is you should have an idea. This is the topic where we don't get a lot of questions. So king, man, any male entity are masculine, any female entities are feminine. A common gender is anything that can be male or a female. So when I say president, do you know I'm talking about male or female? No. When I say teacher, it can be a sir, it can be a madam, right? So that's why they are common gender. And then we have neuter gender, that means they don't have life, so non-living. Why they are important? Once again, only so that in the sentence ahead, if I'm using he, it should be for masculine. If I'm using she, it should be properly referring back to feminine. So this is the whole sense of it. For a common gender, this is what this is something of important. So let's say I'm talking about a teacher. Okay, there is a closed test, or maybe you are writing a pressy and you are talking about a teacher. Okay, so okay, he is important to many students. Now, why I'm using he? You don't have to write he dash she, then writing something, then again him dash her. Sometimes what we do is we consider a common noun, gender common noun, masculine by default. It's not like we are being partial to anyone or if there is a prejudice. It is not like that. It is just like sometimes it's this doesn't look good even in your essays and etc. When you write, if you are using a common like teacher, engineer, doctor, you don't have to go with slash using or word or slash again and you can use he, him pronouns that we use for masculine, okay, and it will be acting in a general manner, okay, in a generic manner, and that will help you to write anything you are writing, composing with clarity. Okay, so don't be after it. Um, a teacher, okay, so his works अगर लिखा है you don't have to change it. Our teacher is always punctual with his works, it's correct. Okay, you can go ahead and consider that we are talking about a teacher who is singular, and yes, I'm using all the pronouns that actually we use for male, for masculine, but it's okay to use it this way. You don't have to do that his slash her thing over here. Also, if this is given in a sentence for error detection, there is no error in this. Okay, unnecessary इसको error mark करके नहीं आना. And the last we have compound nouns. Compound nouns are the nouns that we have after combining two or more words. They are compound. Okay. Here the twist is only when hyphen is used. Okay. So there are three ways to make a compound noun. First way is no space, like the word toothpaste, tooth plus paste. But there is no space here between these two words. So there is no space. Second, e space. Okay, and third, use of hyphen, like here you can see. Okay, space is like washing machine, only space is used, there is no hyphen. This is a compound noun. What kind of machine? Washing machine. I have 10 washing machines, so I'll simply use the plural form of the main noun, primary noun. Hyphen is like this: mother-in-law, mother-in-law, stepson, stepson. So in such cases, sometimes how do they confuse you? Exam is they use plural of the wrong word. Okay. So instead of saying, let's say we are talking about all the mothers in law or mother in laws are not same. That's my sentence. Okay. We have seen such questions in previous years, by the way. So I'm talking about all of them in the world with the title. Mother-in-laws is wrong. You are choosing wrong word to convert into plural. So with compound nouns, if you want the plural form, always pluralize the main noun. Okay. Now main noun is not in-law over here. Main noun is mother. There is one mother-in-law, there is second mother-in-law, but mother second हुई ना, this is the main primary noun. So it is going to be mothers-in-law. All the mothers-in-law are not same. This is super important for you to understand. Okay, chalo. So now we'll practice some questions. Okay. First I need to do this some exceptions. So irregular plurals, here is the list for you. Okay, you can go ahead and read them whenever you want. I'm not going to time into this. People, the word people is plural and it is always treated plural. So people are. You also get to see the word peoples, which is absolutely correct. This is not the plural, but this word here means I'm talking about people from many nations, different territories. That is the place where I use the word peoples. Then there are some nouns where you don't see any change in the plural form. Three words I've already mentioned. These three. Then we have deer, fish. Now, many fish are red in color in his aquarium. Let's say this is the sentence. Many students, they will instantly go and change this word to fishes. Why? Fish itself is plural as well. You're talking about one fish, it is fish. You're talking about thousands of fish, you can use the word fish. There is a word that exists which is fishes, given as, sorry. So this means when we are referring to different species. One is whale, one is shark, one is that tiny fish that we keep in aquarium, one is swordfish. So if I'm talking about fish coming from different species, then I'm going to use the word fishes. You don't get so much of detail in exam. So in exam, what kind of a question you will get? The type of question that I just mentioned in front of you, where it will confuse you, where it will tell brains of many students, Array, how you are using R and before R there is this word fish, which we use for singular. Same is for sheep. Okay, 100 sheeps are sold every day at this market. So students, they think, okay, R has sheeps, it's correct. There is no error in the sentence. There is an error. There is no such word as sheeps. The plural of sheep is sheep itself. So be careful. You should know these. Whenever you have anything that is in pair, you know na what is a pair? Pair is set of two. So if you have a set of two, like scissors, pants, you always treat them plural. They are always used in plural form. Jeans, trousers, glasses, spectacles. One glass is the material glass, mirror wala glass or crockery wala glass, not that. But the spectacles, you can say glasses, binaries, and they are always plural. So his pants are made of leather, are, not is. But if you want to say his pair of pants, okay, his pair of pants is made of leather because now you're talking about pair of, this is your main verb, main noun. So verb will be according to this. Then, as I told you, the difference between people, peoples, iron, irons, water, water. So we have some more words like custom, which means habit, but customs means duties. Force means strength, but forces, it means military. Work means employment, works, creations. Another popular word that we get to see. Paper, okay, it is uncountable, it is material. But when I say papers, I want to talk about documents, specific documents, the documents that you carry with you. So papers here, it's not the material of your copy, but here now it means something different. Please know that how it works. Okay. Now, these are some words which you will have to learn. Okay. Crisis with I is singular, with E is plural. Criterion is singular and criteria is plural. So the criteria are, okay, it doesn't sound plural. Many times I have seen students, oh, it sounded like this in my mind. Hey, it's not about that. It's about knowing what is right and what. So criteria are ABC. Criterion is phenomena. Phenomenon भी बोलते हैं बहुत सारे, but basically it's the same pronunciation. Bacteria are growing rapidly. Bacteria are. Now the word data can take is or are both depending on its use. This is something quite debatable. So you don't get such questions in exams where two possible answers can be there. You'd never get such questions, okay? So just don't be much bothered about this. Radius is singular, radii is plural, alumni is plural, indices, singular is index. Okay, so these are some words which we have seen in previous papers. So please make sure that you know them. Uncountable nouns, you already understand something that we measure. We don't give head count of that number. So I don't say 1, 2, 3, 4, but this is something which you easily can understand. Compound nouns, how we make the plural, like attorneys general. Attorney general is singular. The main noun here is attorney. Okay, so attorney general. If I want to use the plural, it will become attorneys with S. Not attorney generals. General is the title. In-law is the title. Then commander in chief, commanders in chief. These two in-law wale jitne words are mother, brother, sister, father. All these in-law words, they have words being asked in exam, and then in chief wala word. Okay, so these are some plurals. Go through the list. Plurals पढ़ के समझ जाना क्या होता है. You are not kids. This is just for your information. FYI. So I have it. And last point here, what we get to see is checking if I have questions ahead or not. So whenever you have singular noun ending in S, both apostrophe S and just apostrophe is okay. Don't be confused. James's book is also correct, and James without apostrophe, only apostrophe without S is also correct. So on this rule, you won't get any specific question in exam. As I told you, if there are two possibilities, both the forms are acceptable, then there is no such thing that you have to follow to correct this into another correct form. There are two questions in front of you. I'll give you some time to do it. Timer. Please note down your answer. I'll explain everything at the end. Nouns on their own, they don't form a question. Any part of speech on its own will not give you a question. How that part of speech works with other things, other words, other parts of speech in a sentence, on that you get questions. Right now, just try to attempt these questions as much as you can. No hard and fast rule, no hard and fast pressure on you to do all the questions correctly, because this is just the first question, first lecture, free lecture upload. 30 seconds. Scroll and show question number 4. One question, 30 seconds are enough. These are very short, small questions. Question. And for the first one, when we say students, okay, Uh, see, okay, let me. Each of this, each of a lunch, and if every used in a sentence exactly noun, you don't have to give priority to noun when it is used with each. That was the rule here. That was something to understand. Okay, and see answers also like so. We want each of the so this is plural. Each is what is going to get preference. Also, every in case you get every or each, then always think there you go has should. Information is not the right word. It is uncountable and provided by the researcher. Furnitures, just like the word information, it is uncountable. You bought a new furniture. Okay, you can say piece of furniture, new pieces of furniture, piece and pieces. These words can manipulated. You can the plural whatever you want, but the word furniture is written like this without s. Child's not even a word. Children is the proper plural. Many people. People I told you is plural, so the verb we cannot use prefers, it prefer. Okay. This is also a part of subject verb agreement. Idea how the committee are nahi hoga is planning a new event for next month. Now, this is the context. Planning individual plan hoga. Will they plan individually or as a whole, as one unit? Always ask this question yourself whenever you see a collective noun. Committee is a collective noun. So, question planning will be done together or by the individuals? They will do it together. Is must come. I'm gonna treat this word, this collective noun, as singular. It has much work. Okay. When I say works, this means the art forms or whatever you have created. His works are famous all over the world. Let's say I'm talking about a painter. So I'm when I'm in a generic way talking about the workload one has, don't pluralize it, and that's why work will come, works was wrong. The team has lost all their matches. I'm using all. You use all with anything that can be pluralized. You always use plural. All can be used with any noun which is uncountable also. So all he finished all rice on his plate. So in that case, rice is uncountable. You can say that. But this is a word which can have a plural, right? Match matches. So if it is a countable noun with all, it will be plural. Criterions is not a word. Just now we saw later on rules that criterion is singular and the plural is criteria. You can easily get fooled over here such a sentence because several is written. So you will of course think, oh, I need a plural. But the plural word for this word is not criterions. It's not simply adding s, simple s at the end. But here you get to see a total different word, which is 50% different word, which is criteria. Then advice is a word which is uncountable. So this is a rule we will also see whenever we will learn articles. A and N are used with countable only. Okay? Anything that is uncountable cannot take A or N. So here a which was given in the sentence was to be removed. I cannot say, hey, I would like to have a milk. I can say a glass of milk, but I cannot say a milk. Similarly, advice. We don't have a love in us. Have love in for you all. This is how we say and use. These are just some examples, a few of them, because ultimately at the end of your theory course, you will understand how everything connects to every other thing, and then how your question is asked, a question is framed, and you have to answer. So, based on one chapter alone, you cannot do a lot. You can have a better understanding now whenever you come across any form of noun. Okay. Also, please make sure you do your homework. I'll be asking about it in the next session, and I expect honest answers from you all. Okay, so I'll see you next day.